Hello, my name's Hannah. I'm a shiatsu and EFT practitioner. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, and that's what I'm here to tell you a bit more about today. EFT is an amazing tool that you can use for yourself, anywhere, anytime, to get incredible results. EFT, or tapping, uses acupuncture points, which we tap on the upper face and the upper body. And by tapping on these points, stimulating these specific acupressure points, what that does is it activates our inbuilt healing system. EFT, or tapping, has been proven to reduce cortisol, which is the stress hormone in our system, by up to 50%. And what's wonderful about it is that you can do this for yourself. You don't have to rely on anyone else to get these results. So you don't have to go to someone to have the experience. You can use it anytime, anywhere in your life. So I'm going to teach you today a little bit of simple tapping, and you can come and join me in a workshop if you'd like to at another date. So with the tapping, what we want to do is tap lightly, and you can use one hand or two on the acupressure points I'm going to show you. But what we do first off is we start with what's called the setup point. Now this is on the side of the hand, and it's called the karate chop point because it's where you would do a karate chop. And it doesn't matter which hand you use, just tap on that. And we have a statement that we say with that. And then moving through, we tap on the middle of the top of the head, the start of the eyebrows, not the middle point, the start of the eyebrows. Follow the eyebrows around to the end and tap on the side of the eye socket just here. Follow the eye socket around to under the eye in the middle, and again just tap lightly, being careful not to pick yourself in the eye. And then the next point is under the nose, and the next point is under the chin. So on the chin, so this is between where your lip joins your chin. So it's not on the chin, but it's in that lovely little divot there. Perfect little nest for tapping. So a good way to remember this is to think of it in the shape of a question mark, but the dot comes underneath and it's just slightly out to the side, and it's called the collarbone point. So just find your collarbone, find the knobbly bits and slide your fingers down and out about an inch. So either side of the sternum, in the soft fleshy part, not on the ribs, not on the collarbone, but just in the fleshy part, and just tapping there. That's the dot underneath the question mark shape. And then the last point I call the monkey point. You see it like a monkey. It's just in line for ladies with the bra strap on the side of the body, and for men in line with the nipple. So we just tap on the side of the body. So these are all the points we're going to tap. And you can do it with one hand, like I am. I'm a one-handed tapper, but some people like to do it with two. You can switch around. It really doesn't matter which sides. The meridians that we're tapping on and stimulating are actually symmetrical throughout our body. So you can do one side and then the other, however you like, just as long as you're hitting those spots. So by tapping these acupressure points, what that's doing is it's stimulating our inbuilt healing system, and it's activating that to send calming messages to the amygdala part of our brain, which governs our fight, flight, and freeze response. So when we're feeling stressed and anxious, we go into a fight or flight mode, and what this does is very quickly bring us back down out of that into a much calmer position where we can think more clearly and access our prefrontal cortex, which is the useful part of our brain, which gets shut down when we're stressed. Now, the wonderful thing with tapping is it's not just for use with stress and anxiety, but you can use it to apply to all sorts of different things. We have lots of things in our system which get in the way, keep us stuck and held back in our lives. And tapping helps us clear some of those limiting self-beliefs that we have. So some of the I'm not good enough stuff, I don't deserve to, I am unlovable, all these deep held beliefs that we often hold about ourselves that keep us stuck in patterns that don't serve us anymore. And nobody really knows how, but it really does seem to work. And so you can apply tapping to physical discomfort and pain. You can apply it to emotional upset and difficulty. You can apply it to stress and anxiety. People use it to help weight loss, to help focus. Athletes use it. Once you've learnt this, you'll see sometimes at the start of a race, you'll see some athletes tapping, peak performance, all sorts of different ways of breaking through ways and places that we get stuck and caught in our lives. So when we tap, what we want to do is, to be really effective, is to get really clear on what it is that we're tapping on. So I'm going to give you a little demonstration today, and I think everyone can relate to feeling stressed and anxious. It's something we all feel often. So I'm just going to give you a short demonstration on how to tap on reducing your stress and anxiety. So I invite you to join along and see how you go. So what I want you to do is close your eyes for a moment. Notice your body. Tune into your body and take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just noticing, keep breathing, just notice where in your body are you feeling that stress and anxiety. So for me at the moment, I'm noticing there's a slight tension in my chest and my voice is a bit tight. So I'm going to use that in this demonstration, but I want you to choose where it is in your body. Where do you feel it? So it might be tension in the neck and shoulders, it might be a racing heart, it might be a churning stomach, all sorts of different ways it manifests for different people. So the first thing we do, having decided on noticing where we have it in our body, is to give it a scale of 1 to 10. How strongly do you feel that? And this is really useful. So just notice if it's just a little bit, it's maybe a 3, if it's a 10, anywhere in between. How strong do you feel that? So I'm just noticing that in my body, it's about 4. Then what we do is name what it is. So we do that with the karate chop point. So we just say this statement: even though, and repeat after me, even though I have all this anxiety in my body, I love and accept myself anyway. Keep tapping. We say it 3 times. Even though I have all this stress and tension right in the middle of my chest, name where it is for you in your body. It's okay, and I'm all right. Even though I have all this stress and tension, and I've been feeling it for so long now, I love and accept myself anyway. Okay. Then what we're going to do is start tapping around the points, and we're just going to name what we're feeling. So the top of the head, all this stress and tension in my body. Eyebrow point, and again you can do 1 hand or 2. All this tension in my chest. Side of the eye. All this anxiety in my chest. Under the eye. All this stress and worry I'm holding in my chest. And again, naming where it is for you in your body. Under the nose, all this stress and tension in my body. On the chin, all of this anxiety and stress. Collarbone point. All of this anxiety and stress in my body. Then the monkey point under the arm. All of this stress and anxiety. I feel it so strongly in my chest. Okay, so we've just done 1 round of tapping. Take a breath. Take another breath and just notice where it is in your body. Has anything shifted or changed? How strong is it feeling? And we'll do another round. So starting at the top of the head. All this stress and anxiety. Eyebrow point. What if I could let some of it go? Side of the eye. I can't let it go. There's too much to worry about. Under the eye. What if it was safe to let some of this anxiety go just in this moment? under the nose, all this stress and anxiety in my body. On the chin, releasing all this stress and anxiety. On the collarbone point. What if it was okay to let go of some of this stress and anxiety I'm holding in my body? Under the arm, releasing and allowing this stress and tension to go. Great. And just take another breath, breathing in and out, and just noticing if anything's shifted. It might have moved, it might have got stronger, it might have lessened. Whatever you're feeling, that's exactly right. Just keep going with the tapping. Top of the head. I release all this tension and stress in my body. Beginning of the eyebrow. Releasing all this stress and tension. Side of the eye. It's safe to release and relax now. Under the eye. Letting go of all of this tension in my chest. Allowing myself to feel surprisingly calm and peaceful. In this moment, there's nothing to do, and all is well. I'm allowed to relax and feel peaceful. Releasing and letting go of any remaining stress and tension and anxiety in my body. Take another breath. Breathing out. Have a wiggle. See what you notice. How do you feel? Hopefully things have started to shift and change. So what we want to do with the tapping is to name where it is, what it is we're focusing on, where we feel it in our body, how strong we feel it on a scale of 1 to 10. So just notice now, is that dropped? And if it hasn't, then we keep going. And we just tap. First of all, we just name exactly what we're feeling, where it is in the body. And then we do a round on that. And then you shift to what if I could let it go? What if it was okay to let some of it go? What if it was all right to release some of it? And sometimes we get a resistance to that. There's too much going on. It's really stressful. I can't let this go, because that's our survival mechanism, is to keep planning and looking ahead. But right now in this moment, what if it was okay just to let it go? And we start playing with it and teasing with it. And then the last type round, we then just give ourselves, our unconscious self, the instruction, it's safe to let it go. I'm allowed to let it go. I choose to let it go. I release all this stress and this tension. So by naming the negative and the what ifs, it then allows that part of ourselves to then safely release and let go. If we go straight to the positives, it doesn't work, because those parts are still shouting, it's not safe, I need to be stressed and anxious, there's too much going on. But if we actually name what's going on, play with the possibility of letting it go, and then give the instruction to release and let go, we start to feel the results. So that's a little whistle-stop tour of how to tap. I encourage you to do it for yourself and to keep just playing around with it and see what happens. If you're not sure what to say, don't worry. You can just tap. So if you're worrying about something, you're thinking about something, and it's playing on your mind and it's causing you stress, even if you're just tapping and you're not saying those statements, this helps tonify and calm the energy and helps move things through much quicker, and we start to see results. So this is a really useful tool you can use anytime, anywhere, and you don't have to say the right statements. Just notice what you're feeling and keep tapping. And then there's also a shortcut version, which is literally tapping on the sides of your fingernails closest to your thumb. All the meridians come down, start and end in our fingers. And so we can stimulate them by tapping or squeezing. And you can do that when nobody's noticing, with your hand under the desk, with your hand in your pocket, or just walking along. I do a lot of tapping when I'm walking. So you can just do that very subtly and nobody's going to think twice about it. Whereas if you're in the supermarket getting stressed and start tapping, people might think you're a bit weird. But this is a really useful shortcut that you can do. And like I said, you can do it anywhere, anytime. So I just want to share with you some useful books that you can access here at the Pennybourne Library. I know we have some of these books and they're easily available online. And in the frequently asked questions fact sheet, there are links to these books as well you can find. But the one book that I really recommend if you have a cancer diagnosis is this, Even Though I Have Cancer, by Emma Roberts. She's one of my teachers and she spent a long time working with breast cancer patients, and she's written this fantastic book which is such a resource, and it covers everything from the shock of the diagnosis through to working with symptoms and side effects of treatment, to the emotional roller coaster of the whole experience, dealing with other people's reactions to your diagnosis, and so on. It's just a really, really great resource. It has scripts that you can follow in it, and lots of examples of how people have used tapping. So this is a great book I'd really, really recommend if you have a cancer diagnosis and you want to use tapping to help go through alongside your journey. Some other ones. This is a basic introduction to tapping. It's called The Tapping Solution by Nick Ortner. He has taken over the world of EFT and he's got it into all corners of the world. And they run a tapping summit every year. They have a tapping app, which you can download and try for 2 weeks free. And this has lots of free tap-alongs. And then if you like it, it's a bit like Headspace. You can pay a small subscription and access little 10-minute tap-along sessions, which can be really useful. And again, this has got lots of scripts and diagrams to help you in all aspects of life. And it's a general introduction to tapping, so anyone can access this as a starting point. It's really good. And then if you're in pain, this is a really useful book, again by Nick Ortner, The Tapping Solution for Pain Relief. And you can use it to access some scripts and some ideas around how to work with pain, because often pain isn't just the physical, but we have a lot of emotional reactions to pain, and working on the emotional side of things, we can actually drop and reduce the pain that we're experiencing as well. So these are 3 really good, useful resources. There's also a wealth of stuff on YouTube. I'm yet to get my own channel, but one day I will. But until then, you can literally just Google tapping for whatever it is that you're feeling, and it'll bring up loads of different people, and you can just find people that you like, and they'll give you instructions like I have just done on tapping on specific issues. So there's the Tapping Solution app, which is a great resource. There's lots of books and scripts that you can follow, and YouTube are really helpful to follow as well. And of course, you can join us here for workshops online as well. So I wish you well and hope that you've enjoyed learning a little bit more about tapping and can start putting it into use in your everyday life. So if you found this helpful or useful and you'd like to work more specifically on issues and difficulties that you may be experiencing at the moment, I'd really advise to get some guided support from a registered practitioner like myself. There's lots of us around. You can work online, so from the comfort of your own home. And the EFTI is the governing body, and they have a list of all the registered practitioners around the world. So you can go on there and find a practitioner local to yourself or someone you like the sound of. And it can be really helpful to get really specific on what's going on for you. But you don't need to do that. And I really encourage you to give it a go and just try it out on anything you're experiencing and let us know how you get on. It really is a fantastic tool, and it's been proven to make huge differences in people's lives. So I hope you enjoy, and good luck.